Magnesium sulfate, Wikipedia audio. Magnesium sulfate is an inorganic salt with the formula MgSO4x where 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 7. It is often encountered as the heptahydrate sulfate mineral epsomite, commonly called Epsom salt. The overall global annual usage in the mid-1970s of the monohydrate was 2.3 million tons, of which the majority was used in agriculture. Epsom salt has been traditionally used as a component of bath salts. Epsom salt can also be used as a beauty product. Athletes use it to soothe sore muscles, while gardeners use it to improve crops. It has a variety of other uses. For example, Epsom salt is also effective in the removal of splinters. A variety of hydrates are known. Hydrates and anhydrous material production. The heptahydrate readily loses one equivalent of water to form the hexahydrate. Epsom salt takes its name from a bitter saline spring in Epsom in Surrey, England, where the salt was produced from the springs that arise where the porous chalk of the North Downs meets non-porous London clay. The monohydrate, MgSO4H2O, is found as the mineral kieserite. It can be prepared by heating the hexahydrate to approximately 150 degrees Celsius. Further heating to approximately 200 degrees Celsius gives anhydrous magnesium sulfate. Upon further heating, the anhydrous salt decomposes into magnesium oxide and sulfur trioxide. Oral magnesium sulfate is commonly used as a saline laxative or osmotic purgative, replacement therapy for hypomagnesemia. Magnesium sulfate is an antiarrhythmic agent for torsades de pointes in cardiac arrest under the ECC guidelines and for managing quinidine-induced arrhythmias, as a bronchodilator after beta-agonist and anticholinergic agents have been tried, e.g. in severe exacerbations of asthma. Magnesium sulfate can be nebulized to reduce the symptoms of acute asthma. It is commonly administered via the intravenous route for the management of severe asthma attacks. Magnesium sulfate is effective in decreasing the risk that preeclampsia progresses to eclampsia. 4. Magnesium sulfate is used to prevent and treat seizures of eclampsia. It reduces the systolic blood pressure but doesn't alter the diastolic blood pressure, so the blood perfusion to the fetus isn't compromised. It is also commonly used for eclampsia where compared to diazepam or phenytoin it results in better outcomes. The heptahydrate can be prepared by neutralizing sulfuric acid with magnesium carbonate or oxide, but it is usually obtained directly from natural sources. It is on the WHO model list of essential medicines, the most important medications needed in a basic health system. Magnesium sulfate is a common mineral pharmaceutical preparation of magnesium, commonly known as Epsom salt, used both externally and internally. Magnesium sulfate is highly water-soluble and solubility is inhibited with lipids typically used in lotions. Lotions often employ the use of emulsions or suspensions to include both oil and water-soluble ingredients. Hence, magnesium sulfate in a lotion may not be as freely available to migrate to the skin nor to be absorbed through the skin, hence both studies may properly suggest absorption or lack thereof as a function of the carrier. Temperature and concentration gradients may also be contributing factors to absorption. Epsom salt is used as bath salts and for isolation tanks. Magnesium sulfate is the main preparation of intravenous magnesium. Internal uses include: in agriculture, magnesium sulfate is used to increase magnesium or sulfur content in soil. It is most commonly applied to potted plants, or to magnesium-hungry crops, such as potatoes, roses, tomatoes, lemon trees, carrots, and peppers. The advantage of magnesium sulfate over other magnesium soil amendments is its high solubility, which also allows the option of foliar feeding. Solutions of magnesium sulfate are also nearly neutral, compared with alkaline salts of magnesium as found in limestone. Therefore, the use of magnesium sulfate as a magnesium source for soil does not significantly change the soil pH. Magnesium sulfate is used as a brewing salt in beer. Uses: it may also be used as a coagulant for making tofu. Anhydrous magnesium sulfate is commonly used as a desiccant in organic synthesis due to its affinity for water. During workup, an organic phase is treated with anhydrous magnesium sulfate. The hydrated solid is then removed with filtration or decantation. Other inorganic sulfate salts such as sodium sulfate and calcium sulfate may be used in the same way. Magnesium sulfate heptahydrate is also used to maintain the magnesium concentration in marine aquaria which contain large amounts of stony corals, as it is slowly depleted in their calcification process. In a magnesium-deficient marine aquarium, calcium and alkalinity concentrations are very difficult to control because not enough magnesium is present to stabilize these ions in the salt water and prevent their spontaneous precipitation into calcium carbonate. Magnesium sulfates are common minerals in geological environments. Their occurrence is mostly connected with supergene processes. Some of them are also important constituents of evaporitic potassium-magnesium salts deposits. Bright spots observed by the Dawn spacecraft in a crater on the dwarf planet Ceres are most consistent with reflected light from magnesium sulfate hexahydrate. Almost all known mineralogical forms of MgSO4 are hydrates. Epsomite is the natural analog of Epsom salt. Another heptahydrate, the copper-containing mineral alpersite SO47H2O, was recently recognized. Both are, however, not the highest known hydrates of MgSO4, due to the recent terrestrial find of meridianite, MgSO411H2O, which is thought to also occur on Mars. Hexahydrite is the next lower hydrate. Three next lower hydrates, pentahydrite, starkeyite, and especially sandierite, are rare. Kieserite is a monohydrate and is common among evaporitic deposits. Anhydrous magnesium sulfate was reported from some burning coal dumps. Double salts containing magnesium sulfate exist. For example, there are several known sodium-magnesium sulfates and potassium-magnesium sulfates. Medical. Agriculture. An abnormally elevated plasma concentration of magnesium is called hypermagnesemia. Food preparation. Chemistry. Niche uses. Minerals. Double salts. Safety.